Well. Here we are. Landed in on back home. How you doing, homie?
Doing good, Sean. How you doing?
I'm chilling. I
Good.
might be chilling a little bit too hard. You know?
Your fatal flaw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I might be like in the ultimate chill gear right now.
Yeah, I was hanging out with my girlfriends the other night, and I was like, I think I might be chilling too hard. Like, or am I supposed to be like thinking about retirement and stuff?
Oh.
And they all looked at me like, no.
No. Definitely
They're
not.
like, us millennials, we don't think about that kind of shit.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about all that. That's that.
Don't worry about worrying about that. We aren't either.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, sometimes we think about it, but I think our generation's a little fatalistic. We're like, what even is gonna be? It's hard to see into the future.
Yeah. Well, y'all are turning 37, so I would say just enjoy yourself. Doesn't it feel like 37 is like the new 27?
I feel like 37's like my generation or my year Earth Dragons. Like this is like when we start to take over. And I
Really?
feel like we haven't taken over enough, and I'm like, where are my Earth Dragons at? Like we should be in charge. Like why aren't we totally in charge here?
Well, it might happen, but it might not. You
Yeah.
guys might get passed over in favor for a younger model.
Yeah, we might not be ambitious enough.
Yeah. I mean, Gen X kind of got passed over. Like, do you remember the big Gen X, like, leaders? You know?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of weird?
No, it is kind of weird.
Yeah.
We just got some dinosaurs in there.
Yeah. But, we're all getting older. It creeps me out more than ever.
What, that
Right.
you're dating the oldest woman you've ever dated?
No, I never think about that. I really don't. But yeah, definitely, like by far. But you took me off the market when I was 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, right when I turned 30. My Saturn return, you were a part of it, I guess. Whatever that means.
That was part of your new beginning or whatever. You've fallen into yourself.
Yeah, yeah. There's you know, BC, before Cass, and then after in my life. That's like the big,
Demarcation.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Ditto.
You were young. You were 22 when I scooped you off the streets. No, like 23 when we started like really being more serious.
I was 22 when you were like, "Hey, don't date anyone else ever
Yes,
again," and I was
yeah.
like, "Okay,
Yeah.
I will agree to that."
I got to get you off the streets. I knew what I was. I had precognition about the rest of our life, but I just needed a second to get things in place. So let the dreamboat was in dry dock.
You're also the oldest person I've ever dated.
Yeah, yeah. Now you can
just-
never go back.
It just exactly. I was like, men under 40 are boys.
Yeah. Well, I was asking you your favorite Mets player, and you're like, it would help if I was attracted to any of them, but they come off as so young to you
I know.
because they're all like around 30. Well, some of them a lot younger.
I never get over how being like, in fourth grade and looking at the eighth graders and being like, dude, those guys are so old.
Yeah.
Like to be just that, the perspective or
They
when
had a
you're,
little catfish mustache, and they were smoking cigarettes.
yeah, and like trading or like selling weed in the hallway. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you get into high school and you're like, wow, the seniors are so old.
Yeah.
And, now I see like a 27-year-old and I'm like, oh my God, you're a baby.
There might be something to that. There really might be something to that.
Yeah. No, I saw a Reddit thread not too long ago. Like, obviously, a lot of men maintain an attraction to like a barely legal kind of person, but most men in the thread, or at least the ones who were upvoted maybe by women, also were like, no, my age of women I've been attracted to is pairs with the age that I am. Like now that I'm in my 50s, I find women in their 50s attractive, and because it's hard when you're young to imagine.
Yeah, if you're trying to mature,
Yeah.
that's
'cause you
what
see-
you're attracted to.
Well, you also see you become attracted to so much more. Like you are attracted to that the person has life experience, that the person has seen some stuff, has developed a personality, has had heartbreak and all this stuff that like allows you to become a mature, full-rounded person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the idea of like dating someone who's like baby-eyed is like that's like raising a person. That's not even dating a person.
Yeah, that's not fun. I mean, I like my advice to young men is just like have a little something going on, cause like you're young, you're like girls like Cass are gonna be looking at the guys older than them. So just just get going on, have a little something going on. It really helps, and it'll pay off somewhere down the line. Sometimes it's like it takes time to develop your character.
Yeah.
It really does. And like mine was really like I was starting to get like the first like little validations from the universe about like this guy I thought I was around the time I met you. So you probably met me at like peak confidence.
Yeah, and then I was like, let me take him down a few pegs.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No. You met me at like the so far that was like the peak confidence of my life. And I was like, whoa, damn, I'm breathing rare air here. And then like when we were able to actually be together and do our thing together and we made American Juggalo, like I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like we're losing our anonymity as a couple. Like we just became a couple and now we're like a thing already. Like the things we were trying to do together were succeeding. Thus, I think that the universe validating in the ways we needed at the time. That
like,
we
this
were
is a
doing
good
the right
idea.
thing.
This
Yeah.
is a good idea.
Yeah, that this was like an explosive pairing, and there was a lot more work to be done than us just saying hi to each other in a bar one night. So that's cool.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I still have a lot of confidence. I think it's more real now, and I think it expresses itself differently.
I say this all the time, but I'm like, it really just gets better, and that's not just
Mm.
a platitude that or something that applies to only like LGBTQ community. Like, it gets better. There's the whole like it gets better movement, but for everyone across the board, like you become more comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
You feel more comfortable as a person. Like, I, as someone who like prioritizes comfort above all else,
Yeah.
being a high schooler was like very uncomfortable. Being in college was very uncomfortable. Being in my early 20s was very uncomfortable. And now I'm like, oh, if you're like confused at 27, 28, 30, 32, like it's okay. Like, you're supposed to be confused.
Yeah, why not?
You're still creating yourself.
Yeah. I think confusion and like acknowledging it and kind of like saying, all right, cool, give it a seat at the table. You're here too. It ain't the worst thing.
Well, the older you get, the more data points you have. And the more data points you have, the more you're like zen about what actually is big stuff and what's small stuff and what passes and what kind of thing that you were really worked up about you've went in and through and then realized that wasn't a big deal at all. And then so when that little thing happens again, you're like, oh, I know how I process this and it's actually really not that big of a deal.
Totally.
You know?
Do you want to check in with Metatron?
Mm-hmm.
That was something we talked about doing.
Yeah, we're like, we don't know what we're doing today, so let's just...
Well, we got up and took some micros, and then we were like, before we eat, before we do anything, let's go do a really brisk 2-hour hike.
You wanted it to be an hour and a half, and we landed at an hour and 45 minutes. It's usually a 2-hour hike, and you were like, can we do it in an hour and a half? I'm like, I'll try. And then...
Well, you're just not... Look, I couldn't have done it either. I was counting on the body that I had when I did it in an hour this winter, but I still got to get my legs up from,
I hustled, but I was like...
But we crushed it. But I'm like, I feel so chill that I'm like, oh, I usually get through a podcast with a little bit of tension. There's usually something I feel tension, like I want to get it out. I want to tell this story. I want to say this little thing. I want to ask you a question or whatever. And I'm just so chill right now.
You gave it all to the mountain. You got purified in your forest bathing.
Well, I think something happens when you're out there, like, because I was resistant at first. I was like, oh man, this is going to be, I was like, all right. I'm like, all right, we're exercising. Cool. I took acid and we're out here. And then like once I got in motion, it was so awesome. And it's just quiet out there. And it really does calm your ass down. I don't know what else to say.
That's why in Japan they prescribe forest bathing.
Yeah.
They're like, you are anxious and worked up and you need to just go be in the forest.
What do you think's going on? Like, it just feels us and gives us back something that neutralizes it?
Yeah, there's probably just a electromagnetic field, a harmonizing, a different thing that happens. I don't know the science behind it, but it was funny. My friend Natalie the other day was saying that she saw something where there's this like trend on TikTok or something, I don't know where, but where you like talk to your plant and you say, "Come on, little plant, you can touch me," like, and then the plant will move.
Whoa.
Or like the tree will move and touch them. And then there's like a bunch of people in the comments being like, I did this, I talked to my plants, or I talked to a tree saying to touch me, that it's okay to touch me, to reach out and touch me, and then it did. Look, this is hearsay because I didn't see the video.
No, I mean, but it's I don't think it's that crazy. Like you and I have like I guess just like tree gods that we go and pray to. They're like living altars that we go to. There's one tree at the top of the cemetery we walk to that seems like in charge of the place.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, I just
or a big girl. I don't know.
I get in there and any forest. Who's in charge here? What is going on? And then you can spot it. Sometimes it takes time, but you can spot it. You're like, oh, there you are. All right, and like. I cannot believe it, but like we've become like tree huggers.
Totally. I'm a total tree hugger, tree lover, tree talker too. And I do.
Thank you,
sometimes I do get.
I'm just like thank you. But and I feel something coming off of it. It's crazy.
It's a reciprocal relationship.
Yeah, it likes that that we go and visit it and say thank you.
Appreciation.
Because I'm not just saying thank you to that particular tree, even though it is special to me. I'm just saying like. Thanks. We know what you guys are doing. We understand.
Yeah, they're very sacred. And that's why I like my heart hurts here and everywhere, but especially in the Hudson River Valley because like all the old growth trees were cut down for fuel and, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, you couldn't have left a few of them? You couldn't have left some special ones? Like, what were we doing? Why? Because I've gone to... Our friend Judy brought us to this disc golf course, and like it was like Fairfield University, right? And there's so many old, very like old, huge trees.
Yeah,
and you're like
hundreds of years old.
And then you think like, why don't we have trees like this around us? So they cut them all down.
Damn.
It just makes you so sad.
I can't handle it.
It's hard.
Yeah.
To think about doing that.
They're the wise ones. We needed them.
Well, now we got these little saplings that we're just love and say, you can grow tall and big and we'll protect you.
Yeah, but their ghosts still reign supreme here. I could feel it. I know when I'm out there. I'm like, the wise ones were here. Something has gone on in this mountain. So, it's your birthday. Maybe not today, but like tomorrow or whatever. Sunday.
Yeah. And I have the best girlfriends, and they gave me this Metatron, the Archangel Metatron Self-Mastery Oracle. Which
they
is like
know
really
that.
Legit.
It's really nice. It's so nice.
Amanda Ellis.
Yeah.
Artwork by Jane Delaford Taylor.
Yeah, we only have pulled 2 cards out of this, but they were both balling, and we said, let's bring it onto the podcast. We used to do this kind of stuff all the time.
Don't you love how the Metatron looks just like, has very similar features to the Metatron that Noemi painted in the Wild Magic movie?
Wow. Interesting. Well, that's how Metatron came into our life. Like, I had never heard that term before we went to hit the road to make Wild Magic 1 year ago. And we got on our flight, and our friend Ben, who we filmed for the movie, texted us. He said, the Angels are very excited about you guys getting out there to make this, in particular Metatron. And we're about to take off, and like we're Googling, like, what is Metatron? I'm like, I thought it was,
I'm like downloading podcasts.
Yeah, I thought it was a transformer. I don't know what was going on. That's such a dad joke. That's like not even clever.
No, I like it. It's real. It's a good joke because it's relatable.
Okay. It's relatable.
No, because I think you think the same
I don't
thing.
have my edge. The forest neutralized it. So yeah, I had never heard of Metatron. And then he's like, yeah, I'm in communication with the angels, and Metatron in particular is very excited about you. And then all of a sudden, he starts popping up everywhere. You okay?
Yeah, sorry, I hit my foot.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, he's become an an archangel of archangels, which he is an archangel of archangels. But we got a little gold plated I don't
It's
know.
just made of gold.
I don't think it's real gold. It's gold colored. Do you think it's real gold?
It's 14 karat gold. That's what they were selling it as.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, we got a 14 karat gold Metatron, and like it looks like a sheriff's badge. So we just put it up in our dashboard.
Yeah.
You know, like a new sheriff's in town. And it's true. And like we always shout out our angels and ask them, specifically if we need something specific, or if we don't need anything, we're just being like, shout out to you.
Well, when you're getting in your car, you always need safety and protection.
So we always shout it out. But then I'm like, I feel the need to mention Metatron by name because like I'm looking at him. There's a new sheriff in town, and I'm like, I obey the law. That's a law I can get behind. So we have this deck. So do we want to pull one for the people? Is this a reading?
Yeah, I like doing those.
Let's tap into the people real quick.
Yeah, us, we are the people, and the people who are listening.
Send a little something. Keep sending. Okay. I feel like I got it. I feel like I got the thing we needed to guide your hand to pick the card. I could do the reading, but you got to do the thing.
Number 12.
Number 12, the number of Francisco Lindor of the New York Mets. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a good one. Akashic Records. Evaluation and review. All you have done, been, seen, or experienced is recorded in the Hall of Akashic Records. You ready for a little reading?
Yeah.
Let's see if I could do this. These sacred texts are guarded and safely locked away. Only Metatron has keys to this complete library of your soul's imprint through all eternity. All the times you have wronged someone and all the times you loved. All the words spoken in hatred and all the words of forgiveness. Deeds where you acted in your own interests and times you served the collective good. Lifetimes when you struggled and lifetimes when you enjoyed life's riches. You have sacrificed your life for another, and you have taken a life. You have shone your light brightly, and you have had times where you extinguished light. You have lived as male, female, black, and white, a short life and a long life, with disability and a life in complete health. You have been good, bad, and everything in between. Metatron knows the scorecard, knows what you still need to work on, as well as the unique gifts that only you have to shine in this lifetime and bring all that experience back. No one is born without gifts or challenges to experience. You are asked now to look at any repetitive pattern, thought, or situation that keeps recurring in this life and ask whether it has roots in other lives. The one relationship you struggle with, the addiction you just can't kick, or the same mistakes being made over and over again. Metatron opens your book at the page you need to see right now. What is it that you need to work on, let go of, forgive, or heal? Alternatively, you may be shown a great attribute or quality that only you have, reminded of wisdom buried within you, wanting to be expressed and highlighted again in this incarnation. Know that all is fair when looked at from the eternal perspective and entwined with the law of karma. The book pages also reveal that you can ask for dispensation from old karmic ties and struggles if you have truly worked through the lessons and gifts that were within. Ultimately, God, or Source, is the one that knows whether we have balanced our books and if our presence within this great galaxy has been beneficial and well spent, or when more still needs to be integrated and shown. It may also be that you are shown the Akashic records here because someone or something irritates and angers or upsets you. You are reminded that when you judge may well have been what you have been or done in another lifetime. So try to be compassionate with others who may be younger souls or simply may be completing the wheel of life and all its experiences, lessons, and blessings in a different order than you. For now, meditate to connect to Metatron and see the huge symphony of your life set against many others. All you have been and all you will be.
That's good. I love it.
Yeah? Did you take anything away from that?
I keep pulling cards that are about like patterns, and I'm like, oh. I just, I'm just reflecting on that.
Yeah. I think patterns can help us. Help us see the way. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff in there. But do you believe in the Akashic records?
Sure.
Do you believe in Santa Claus?
I believe we're recording to some. I feel like our experience is like a lived recording to something that gets like downloaded or uploaded or processed or added to the. And I think that's why we're having more different experiences because there's so many different people. I don't know. It's just like my theory about trans stuff is like, okay, well, we've done like a lot of different, these couple genders a lot of different ways. We just gotta.
It's like we're starting to shoot new souls out into the universe, and they're coming at you.
And they gotta experience life in a different way with a different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's why all these new drugs keep hitting the scene. Just when you think they can't find anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I bet you when humans first discovered Jenkum, they were like, it doesn't get much better than this. Getting high on our own supply doesn't cost shit. I don't have to go to the plug. You just gotta wait. But now it's like you get to choose.
Do you think people really get high on Jenkin, or do you think just like make like what?
I'm fucking with you, babe.
No, but I mean,
no idea the history of Jenkum. I really don't. I assume that if you can get high on it, people have, and a lot of people have, like a lot more than you think.
The sacred brew.
Yeah. But like, think about how far we've come from just having Jenkum to like designer ketamine analogs. It's like, dial in your experience. How long do you want to feel this? How far do you want to go? How far into God mode are you willing to go?
I mean, yeah, there was a time where we were doing drugs without a scale.
Yeah. You and I?
No, just as people.
Mm.
Well, I don't know. Scales probably were invented.
Yeah, how did people used to weigh their ketamine back in the olden days?
Well, maybe not ketamine, but opium existed before scales.
Before digital scales, definitely. I'll agree with you on that one. The rest, I think, is very questionable. But I don't know. I don't know when we started smoking opium. I think it was around the year 400 BC.
Do you think Jesus ever smoked opium?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, opium? Maybe. I don't know. He definitely, when I think of Jesus, I think of a guy who was probably a hash man, like myself.
Isn't it crazy our calendar is based on Jesus?
Oh, we're in real stoner territory right now. What the fuck are you talking about? The Gregorian calendar and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, they took away. There's if you matched it up to the moon, there would be a 13th month. But they took it away. And it sets us off. It keeps us one step out of tune. Perfectly susceptible. And this is stuff like, look, any witch can articulate way better than my ass. But I'm just telling you, if you want to question the calendar, other folks have done so. And I think that they're onto something.
It'd still be 365 days, just more months within the calendar.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
So you wouldn't get
We might get more days
blue
too.
moons, full moon, blue moons,
Everything.
all the moons.
Wolf moon, strawberry moon.
The flower moon was May.
Mm-hmm. I'm about to take my flower moon.
I should probably have some of that.
Yeah, I think you need
As
it.
long as we're off the rails, let's keep it going.
Yes. Well, we were gonna the last podcast. Fucking didn't get a hit after all that. The last podcast we did was off the rails because we had our friend Michelangelo coming over, and we're like, we'll bust out a podcast with him.
A real one.
A real one. So like, let's just go on and do like our afterglow thing. Like, the bonus podcast we put out every week on patreon.com/churchofchill. But Michelangelo came up and we were just having such a good time. It seemed sacrilegious to record it. It was never time to do it. We're like watching a lot of movies and talking about movies and how they apply to life and all of this stuff. But because of that, we took this little thing that was supposed to be like a throwaway just for the homies episode and put it out on our regular feed, and I didn't even think about it till afterwards. I didn't even think about it till you and I were very high on ketamine. And you started playing the podcast.
I don't know why.
We never do that. Like, I don't know. You might do that. I don't fuck around.
I don't know why I did that.
I said it. If someone wants to hear it, great. It's out there, but I don't need to hear it again.
Yeah, no, I know.
And so we're at the Dead Milkmen show, hanging out, getting very excited. The opener was on, and Cass and I, we slinked into the bathroom together and did a little bump. And I think you did a lot more than a bump.
Well, I'm like...
You said it right away, too, which made my heart drop out. Because we're up in the top floor of this building. And, like, you did ketamine, and you were like, I just did way too much. You're like, I don't know why I just did so much. And I was like, oh, shit. And, like, we come out, and it's, like, so loud.
Well, I'm a bender kind of girl. And I've been off ketamine for months. And I'm like, all right, let's go on a bender.
Little dance, yeah.
I mean, I've been, like, way not on it. And then, I don't know. You've stayed kind of steady. And I'm like, all right, I'll dip my toe back in. And every time I'm doing, I'm like, what am I doing again? Why am I doing this? Especially for an opener.
It was just...
like, at least let me do this for, like, the primo moment.
It was a disaster. No, it wasn't.
It
was such a wholesome comedy of errors. Because basically, this band, they were playing their heart out. They're little cuties. They're called Miss Teen America, and they're doing some New Jersey shit, man.
They were great. They had a great sound.
They seem plucked out of
a battle of the bands.
A battle of the bands that like happens within a John Hughes movie, where you're like, whoa, what is that? And they're all like dressed like the Misfits, but like in like 80s clothes, and singing their hearts out. And I wouldn't even know how to describe what kind of music it was, but I was like, fuck yeah, right on. But I was way too high, and like my girl was about to be like probably in a K-hole, pretty much. So I was like, let's go back to the car, and we just sat in the car for a minute. And we got there, and you were like, as soon as we got in the car, talk about confusion, you're like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what we're doing. And I'm like, we're just sitting out in the car till the opener is done. Then we're going to go watch the Dead Milkmen. And you were like, oh, okay. And then you proceeded to take out and put on our podcast. And I listened to us talk for a few minutes, and I was like, we have to stop doing this. This is the work. What are we doing? This is insane. And I really think the only way I'm like letting myself off the hook for that very high, paranoid, crazy is like that was supposed to be like a bonus episode, and we ended up putting it out on the regular feed. And I was like, we were just being like a little looser, whatever. People got a taste of how we are on our Patreon one. But whoa, that's a very strange fucking thing to do, is to get very high on ketamine and listen to a thing that is already out there that you are. Oh God. I was like, what are you doing to me? What are you doing?
I don't know why I did it. Sometimes I literally just kept looking at you being like, what's going on again? what's going on again? And that's what's kind of fun about, having a weekend and being like, okay, well, we don't drink, but we're still irresponsible. You know what I mean? We're not.
Yeah.
We get our druthers.
Look, we might not drink. That doesn't mean that we're not fucked up all the time. That doesn't mean if you took what we did and applied it to alcohol, we wouldn't be considered knockdown, drag out alcoholics. Just that particular drug does not work for our bodies, but the ones that do, when they do, it's like, hell yeah, this is fucking firing on all cylinders right now. We might have mistimed it at the Dead Milkmen show, but to me, it didn't take away from the experience in any way. It was very bonding.
Those guys are killing it. That was one of those shows that I was really looking forward to for a long time. And now I'm like, fuck, I gotta go back because there were some songs they didn't play that I need to hear. But they're very committed to their craft, and they're broke artists like ourselves, and we're just like, all right, this is what staying true to yourself is. And like,
yeah,
I mean, it's not glamorous, and it's but
it is.
I feel in good company, If they're broke, being broke is probably what's up.
Well, it was interesting to see the difference. Like, we went to Devo, which we talked about on the last episode, and then we went to Dead Milkmen at the end of the week. And they're both bands that were like having their moment in like the early mid 80s, And just to feel the difference, like Devo obviously exploded and they have a lot of money. And they're playing this corporate venue, and it's all brought to you by Live Nation, and it's subversive and awesome. You're not getting a hit.
There's no atomizer.
Sometimes you just have to do this. And then cut to an independent club in New Jersey, an independently thrown show, Dead Milkmen. And the first thing they say when they come out there, after a few songs, they're like, this should be, you guys should take it in because it's a very rare thing that you would come to see a headliner who is as broke, if not more broke than you. And there was just like it was weirdly like the perfect thing to say to that crowd. Like a warm blanket came over the crowd of like, fuck yeah. Yeah, right on. Like,
well, when we got to the show, I was looking at the tickets and I was like, Sean, we only paid $25 for these.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, and they played that was their third show of this year, and they're working class guys, and I'm sure they have regular jobs and careers and all of that stuff, but they're committed to their craft and the art, and they were just like incredible. If you close your eyes, you could have convinced yourself that you were like watching the Dead Milkmen of 40 years ago. It's really crazy.
Well, when did their first album come out?
Big Lizard in My Backyard was 1983 or 84 or 85. I should know that. Yeah, think
that
about
is
that.
40 years.
Yeah, Kaz. They're older than you.
Well, yeah.
No, but they've been functioning as a band for longer than you've been alive.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And just very, very heartfelt, passionate dudes who have written some of the pop punk classics of all time. So many that they couldn't even get to them all, and we're like, oh God, we're gonna have to go see when they play again.
I don't want to grow up.
No. You're ripped.
Yeah, it happened.
Did you get too ripped?
I don't know. What's too ripped?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. Well, like for me, is when it starts to be like, oh man, I'm not like a factor anymore socially. That's too ripped. That's what the times I've been embarrassed. No one else would care or even notice, but like I'm like, I overdid it right now, and I'll do better. I could do better than this. Luckily, I think the times that I've been like most visibly effed up was very small, like me, you, and Noah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, Noah came over at midnight and I had already taken an edible, and now we're doing ketamine and
Ketables.
Ketable arrangements. Oh my God. that shit, that will. It's a really, really, really tough needle to thread. But if you do, I'm pretty sure that shit is like, it's opening your third eye. Because I can literally hear conversations that are going on in other rooms. I can see through walls. I can see through my eyelids. Like, it is a next level psychedelic when you take a proper, like a real, like a solid 20 milligram fucking edible. Mix that with a couple lines. You know, I become a natural mystic.
Yeah, you think you are.
Well, but
You're like,
I'm a total like I'm a bedridden mystic.
yeah.
Yeah, a total immaculate degeneration into the fetal position where I gladly listen to the conversations that are happening 2 rooms over and feel like I'm there, but I'm not. I can't handle it.
You're talking back in 2022. Take it back to 2022.
Yeah, maybe even taking it back a little further than that.
2021.
2021, yeah. Like, because I was very, very late to and hesitant about ketamine, and so, you know, that would have been the early days of me messing around with it.
My theory with you is that you're like, I mean, the amounts you take that I'm like, what are you even like? What is the point?
I don't know. I should be more thoughtful and intentional. Because you're saying I take too little. You're like, why are you bothering taking this if you're just going to take like a few grains?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of like, imagine you could go to a bar and take a half a shot of tequila and be like, well, I'm feeling exactly how I want to feel, and just stop it there, you know?
For how
that's what that is.
That's a funny thought, because for how strong a shot is, you would think that they would offer half shots.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's not really a thing.
It's not even an offer.
No.
I have a marketing thing for
some liquor company.
Yeah, or a bar. Like half shot special. Because you could still use the shot glass. You just fill it.
Yeah.
Because a shot is 2 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a 1 ounce shot.
Well, people are now just they just go there and take non-alcoholic shots.
Are they doing non-alcoholic shots? I do like how the non-alcoholic sector is expanding.
It is. It's expanding into wine. You've had the tequila. It's expanding.
I have had the tequila.
You know, it's like a last-ditch effort from, you know, an industry that is like totally nefarious to try to be like, no, we got you. We care about you.
Well, I don't know if they'll end up buying. Those liquor companies will end up buying, but I think these are alternative brands. It's not like Jack Daniel's non-alcoholic version yet.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. It's people being like, hey, we know the party's over. That's the marketing campaign. The party's over, but it doesn't have to taste that way.
That's actually really good.
Do something with that, right?
Definitely.
I feel like a full page ad in like Esquire. I don't even know if Esquire magazine's still a thing, but you know what I mean? A full page ad in Esquire magazine, and it's like it's guys smoking a joint, but they're slightly out of focus, and in focus is a nice cup of non-alcoholic Jack Daniels. The party's over.
A whole cup.
Yeah. Well, you could drink as much as you want. The party's over, but it certainly doesn't have to taste like it. And then you just depict this lifestyle where you can be drinking all the time.
Yeah. I think that would just be a good way to advertise non-alcoholic beer. Because, I mean, liquor is...
I don't know if anyone would ever...
Liquor, the party's over and it'll taste like it.
I don't know if anyone will ever lean into the party's over as like a branding strategy. But they'd be smart if they did. You know, because everything in the marketing world and the branding world is like trying to hypnotize you into thinking and feeling like you're younger than you are, and like everything, you're part of a younger thing, and like, no, you're hip, don't worry, and like, But imagine if you got marketed to in a way where it's just like, oh, we know it's over. Like, you know, just fucking let's totally let go together.
I guess it depends on how you're defining the party. Is the party
Any guy will know what I'm talking about. You know, when they feel like, yikes. Well, it's, yeah, I don't know. For me, it's harder to say because the party will never end because I found you. The party can end. It won't. It won't. This is the party.
Yeah, I love seeing those videos of old couples like throwing leaves on each other and stuff.
I just think about the ticks and just please don't do that to me. But like I think, bared witness to many a night where we saw other people's, like, maybe they didn't realize it, but we're like, damn, the party is fucking over. Holy shit. Like a night of drinking when you're
Well, it's
way
always
too
drinking.
old and you're
It's
trying to
always
make
drinking.
out with people and it's like, God.
No, I think it's always drinking. So it's like when you're talking, when you're branding it, it's more like the alcohol party's over
Yeah.
for everybody. It's not
Oh,
for
totally.
any person in particular. It's just like
Mhm.
this is not a party anymore.
Yeah.
And any drug could and would get like that. Where you're like, okay, we've done this.
Yeah. They could be also lean into something like, hey, the times they are a changing. Just get down with this new way of life. You do a bump of ketamine in the bathroom, you come out and you drink your non-alcoholic Jack Daniels, and you look just part of the scene, and it's great.
Well, I don't even think you would want ketamine to get that popular because then you'd actually have to think about all the things, the reasons you shouldn't be doing it because there'd be a lot more information and research
That
on
information is starting to get out there. That research is starting to get out there.
it. Yeah.
I have no idea because I'm an older drug user, like what the young ones are doing and struggling with, but definitely ketamine's one of them. I could see why.
It's like one of those ones, like I was so deep into the drug thing. This sounds bad. Like, responsible exploratory drugs. That I didn't really do a lot of research is what I was going to say. I didn't do a lot of research. I was just like, oh, okay.
No, my research is like, they use this for depression or something? Okay, cool. Like, it's probably good for me.
Literally.
And it is. And like, oh man. But like the thing is.
Well, you just said it is. You feel pretty definitive. You're like, it is good for me.
Right now, yeah. I mean, well, the slippery slope is the allure of, like, when you're a sound hound like us. Like, we love music.
Yeah.
And that's why I only need a little bit. I don't need to be in a damn K-hole because then it's like it kind of really loses its luster. But like on a little bit, you're hearing music and just I don't know how to describe it. It sounds like it got put through a filter of like, make this richer, doesn't it? Like, and it's no different. So
I feel like I guess I get that, but I don't think about it the same way we can watch the same movie and you'll be like, the sound design was so good. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about the sound design at all. And that's probably also what makes a good sound design, But there are movies that I definitely feel it and I see what they're trying to emote, but I feel like you pay attention to it in a way that you probably pay attention to even more when we're listening to music. I'm like, I love this, but you're like listening.
yeah, but music is still has like all its mystique to me. So as a filmmaker and as like a real cinephile, like I can watch a movie for its parts and still appreciate it or whatever, but like a lot of movies I can only watch for its parts, and like I'm never doing that with music. I'm never because to me it's like very mystical. I'm like, I don't understand how you would write a song like that. I don't understand how you would make something sound like that, or how you would even describe how to make something sound like that. But it is something I want to get better at. I like working with Noah, and he's a really good, quick translator of my ideas, and obviously has tons of his own, and he's a real musician and everything. But the way he can probably get swept up in a movie in a way I can't, he hears music. Like I remember putting on a song for him once, and he's like, "What is it you like about this?" Because he's just hearing like D A E chords like over and over. Like he's just like,
Well,
why do you like this?
that's what happens when you like learn music to a certain point where there's like you're tapping into it in a different way.
That's what I'm saying.
Did that kind of happen to you when you were playing guitar more?
When you first like realize those three chords are like, oh, like most of Tom Petty's catalog comes from these chords or whatever, like it doesn't take away anything for me. I'm like, oh, cool. I can't believe this guy stumbled on this and made, like took this thing that was there and made it so beautiful. Yeah. I see how hard music is, and I appreciate it that much more. Like I know how to play the chords on a guitar, but I don't know anything about music theory or how to read music or time signatures or anything like that. Like that song Golden Brown by the Stranglers is like has such a like whoa, like a mystical quality to it. You're like, whoa. We were saying the other day we really like songs about heroin.
Yeah.
It always turns out the ones that were like, whoa.
Like ODUS, I really like heroin music.
But when you read about that song, music heads are like, oh, the reason you're liking it is because they're playing these like old European style chords, and there's a tempo change. There's a really interesting tempo thing going on, and then there's a tempo change midway through that kind of like swings it and makes it feel slightly off, but you're paying like they know exactly, and it's a lot of what I just said.
Wait, what?
Why this song sounds like so like enchanting. Like a real music head can tell you everything about like why a certain effect was achieved. Same thing when you hear any comedians talk about comedy. They'll be in awe of what might come off as the simplest joke, but they're like, no, but do you see what they did with the format there and how they flipped it and had you thinking that it was going to be this type of joke, but then it was that type of, all that stuff. That's kind of the closest I have that to is films. So I could be the harshest critic on films, but I'm also like, I don't know, I'm really not that harsh of a critic when it comes down to it. I don't think.
No, you're looking to love something.
I'm looking to love something. I don't like. I don't really spend a lot of time in our film club talking negatively.
Well, I like what you were saying the other day. I was like, do you think you could put a song that when you listen to, you're like,
What do you mean? Can you finish that sentence?
I'm thinking about it. Sometimes there's a song that you wouldn't normally like, but you're like, but I could make you like it if I put in the right context, where it's like, this is the best song ever.
Yeah.
So I was just asking you if there's a song that you would like listen to and be like, this sounds a little off. And they're not off. Off isn't the right word. Like, just maybe, I guess the most layman way to say is like not cool. It's like not cool. It's like lame or something.
You're saying, like, would I ever have a song come to me that I immediately dismiss, but then it worms its way in there, and I go to bat for it by putting it on our weekly radio show?
Well, I think you've made me fall in love with songs that I didn't think that I would like give a chance, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, and seeing you fall in love with songs that I wouldn't think you would have given a chance.
Yeah.
Is kind of the muse energy I work with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our love affair started with me sending you mixes.
I wish I had those. I have them somewhere.
And they were about the same length as our Church of Chill episode.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all love letters. They're all beautiful little love letters, because like it was so hard to just make one mix for you. And I remember I made 3 or 4.
I had like 6 pink CDs that were mixes.
That I made for you?
Yeah.
So there you go. That's 6 Church of Chill episodes, the first 6.
I know.
Yeah. And they're, for some reason and I don't even try to do this, they always end up being around 22 songs. And I don't care how many songs I put on there, but they always end up being around that many songs. And sometimes that'll take you an hour and 15 minutes, and sometimes it'll take you 2 hours or more.
Well, I like that. Well, the right in there is the 143, which is I feel like a lot of the numbers is
The new
143.
episode we're about to
No
record, it
way.
literally is 22 songs and it's an hour and 43 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, 143. But I think I don't really necessarily have songs like that off the top of my head because I don't want to I want to be able to listen to the Church of Chill, the master playlist. I want to be able to throw it on shuffle and not come across duds that I'm like, oh no, you would really appreciate this Hootie and the Blowfish song. That's maybe a bad example because that might worm its way in there. But you know what I mean? But what it is like though, genres. Genres that I thought I would never fuck with. I'm like, let's see if I can do it. And then you're like, this is cool. This is cool. And actually, these bands in this era of music is better than I thought. And yeah, this is just like all my continuing studies. So as anyone and any appreciator of art, especially if you're going to curate, like I want new things to inspire me. I want things to come out of nowhere and rock my fucking socks. I pray for and invite
Well, I like
the new band.
I like when I do it too because it was Easter the other day and I played a Sheryl Crow song
Yeah.
because I'm trying to have the sisters have a good time.
Oh yeah, you and
Yeah.
my sister dancing around, and my
Yeah.
sister Megan was there. So
Yeah.
you picked a crowd pleaser, but
I
it
tried
pleased
to,
me.
and I was like, "Oh, Sheryl Crow, I think it might be a crowd pleaser because it's like she's happy,
Yeah,
happy song." So.
yeah, she has some bangers, really, really good stuff, like incredible. One of her songs has made it on Church Chill so far, but others might.
Yeah. No, it's just yeah, I like how it's fun.
I've done 231 episodes. They're all on patreon.com/Church of Chill. That's the only place that's why we have a Patreon. It's the only place we could do it without setting off all kinds of like copyright infringements. They used to just be part of the feed of our podcast. Like it'd be a podcast and a Church of Chill. And then once the copyright strikes started coming in, we're like, we have to hide these behind a paywall. We set up the Patreon. And next thing you know, like we have like a cool little community. And like a landing place for a lot of like the stuff that might not otherwise be allowed to be anywhere else. So 231 episodes of that.
It's a good ritual. You told me you're like it's not really a thing until I've done 400 episodes. So
Yeah. Well, no, I feel like I can't turn my back on it.
yeah.
I feel like that's the commitment I made with the gods that keep dropping me these songs and albums from fucking artists that I thought I knew. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, how many times have you and I turned to each other and been like, did we just write this? Did we just go back in time and place this album? Like, how did I not know about this?
Well, and a lot of times it's like the synchronicity will be so potent. I remember you playing. The song that always gets me is "Can't Find the Keys to the Medicine Chest."
Oh, yeah.
And the first time you played that song was like a week after I was like, Sean, I can't open the box.
Yeah, our drug box is like an old
The one
jewelry box.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, this is our old thing. But it's like a jewelry box from the 70s that you need like a fucking skeleton key to open. And we don't know where that key is. And lo and behold, one day we wanted to get into our medicine chest. And we couldn't get in there. I had to pick the damn lock. But it's also the same time I found that song. And would that song have hit as hard if we hadn't had that experience?
No, it was like the song.
Yeah, totally. And like, look, that's a memorable one for you. That was like 3 years ago. I have moments like that every day.
Yeah, I bet.
But they're just happening quietly. Like it's just like me, like with my headphones on, like, yes, oh my God, duh, of course. Like just finding these songs and like just finding like the perfect little piece that makes a whole mix make sense. Because when I do them, I'm thinking of like a movie. Like, here's what would play under this crazy dope ass movie, and like. Yeah, I just did a limo rock trilogy. Found this new genre I mean, we made it up of music that already existed, but I don't think anyone ever really called it that. I know no one had called it that. And so did a trilogy of episodes. They're each 2 hours. So there's like 6 hours of limo rock mixes that are freshly on the Church of Chill thing.
I love the limo rock era.
It's what you call
it's
for.
It's how I'm gonna. I do feel like I can demarcate our life in the last 15 years, like based on if I mean, I can't remember what I did like on my birthday every year. I can't any of the years. Like it's like different things escape me. I can't think of what year things are.
Yeah.
They don't attach to years, but there's very like phases. Like, oh, we were in the apartment. Oh, we were dating this person. You know what I mean? Like we were here.
But even musically, it really refined.
And yeah. Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because I can attach it to these episodes.
Oh, interesting.
And the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because when you do an episode, we're listening to those songs like a lot before the episode comes out, and then a lot after.
Yes.
And then fully integrated, but.
And then they get fully integrated, and they're just like they're there for us. And then you got to let them age a little bit. Then you pull them back out when it's time. But even before I started making these, like, there's eras I feel like we went through. It's interesting. Even at times when I thought we were like musically stagnating with our tastes, like before we found the Dead and Ween, and like really started like we were hanging out with and listening to like Middle Brother and Deer Tick and Dawes and Johnny and
yeah, that's a very particular like time.
And then we're into like Jeff the Brotherhood and Diarrhea Planet and Fiddler and what's that other one? Waves, Best Coast. And I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm like, these are like eras that are like probably like a year and a half in our life.
Then there's like Father John Misty.
Yeah, totally. He really helped us when we first discovered acid.
And then along with that was like War on Drugs, Kurt Vile, and Sturgill Simpson.
It all feels like leading up to something, and that was discovering the Dead and Ween.
Yeah.
The Dead we discovered in 2015. And Ween in 2019.
Well, it doesn't feel like we discovered them. It feels like they discovered us. Like
it
feels
like it's fine.
It's time. Yeah, literally, it was like it's fine. It's time. That's literally how it feels. It's fine. It's time.
Yeah.
If I could think of so much music like that, and sometimes like you'll devote yourself to the rock gods, and then the rock gods will reward you by like opening a portal, and that's how Ween felt. Ween felt like, oh my God, we stayed devoted, and this is what we get out of it.
Like, fuck yeah. Like, there's so many more colors at play here. There's so much more.
It's literally like getting different cones in your eyeballs.
Yeah, it's like we graduated to having these cones. That's how it felt finding the Dead too. Just like, whoa, what is all this stuff?
Yeah, you're like, oh, I kept opening doors.
Yes.
And this one just like Rainbow Road.
Yeah, totally. But that's the key. We kept opening doors. You have to keep trying. And like at least we like I don't think we ever stagnated in our tastes. And I think that's a good thing. But having a radio show and a film club and stuff like makes me now engaged and just listening and watching in a completely different way. That's making me a better person, I think. I think.
Well, you're being more attuned. Like, how would you describe it? Like, what is being a better person?
Attunement is a good way.
Attunement.
Attentive attunement.
Attentive attunement. I like that.
Just having some cool things that I'm looking forward to. That kind of thing. Yeah, that's what a person should want. So when I want to have cool things to look forward to and they're working out, like, it's cool.
Yeah. That's why we always have something to look forward to. We always say it's like really important to have something on the calendar to be excited about.
Yeah. Yeah, for us, it's like it's important to have like the 6 month, the thing where we have tickets to something 6 months away, and then like the 3 months away, and then like within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Like having that stuff is like a really good way to like stave off depression. Just be like, oh, We can fucking see the Viagra Boys September 25th in Brooklyn.
Yeah, like you think these tickets are expensive. You're like, oh, that's a lot of money. But like, think of it as like mental health. That's how I think of it.
I was trying to describe this
It's
on
like
our
therapy. It's like not even just the experiences going to therapy, but like the positive energy
Yeah.
you can cultivate looking forward to something.
Well, exactly. It's what I was saying in our last podcast, which I thought was going to be an afterglow, but like where I was talking about.
I still think this one should be.
Maybe it should be. I don't know. We'll see. But like where we were in a throuple and we were like always dreaming about this and that, and it's like it might as well have happened. We got so much out of those dreams, but like yeah, it might seem expensive. Like, oh man, we paid $60 to go see Viagra Boys. I got way more out of it already than $60. First of all, we listen to their albums for free. All these musicians, like, what the fuck? Like, it's the least you could do. It's like, not only go to the show and fucking buy something from them. Like, help these boys keep it going. Like,
Well, because
it's so hard.
Because also, like, these boys and girls are like creative, and so if you give creative people like this money, then they like do what King Gizzard's doing. Is like, then you get a bunch more types of shirts, then you get video component, then you get like all this.
They're an industry.
Culture around it, but
Yeah.
you get like we have a bread place near us, and you could say, oh, those loaves were kind of expensive, but by paying a little bit more, they were able to invest in themselves, and when they invested in themselves, now we get a new bakery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is very convenient because there's a local bakery that's making fresh sourdough that tastes delicious very close. Because people paid a little bit more to make it so they could expand.
Oh, I know that when we've had funds made available to us by our patrons, it always leads to us doing something creative and inspired and matching their funds and more and going towards something. So I can just speak from experience. It's like throw a bone. It's such good karma. You really, really don't understand how good of karma that is.
Well, for yourself, because if they make more stuff, you get to benefit from it. That's how I feel about like, but that's just like it is a shame though when you buy like a ticket price, like a crazy amount of fees is going to the person or the company that made that possible.
Yeah.
It's like a little outrageous. Like
it's a lot outrageous.
That's why a lot of
me?
like Live Nation and stuff bought up these venues.
Yeah.
To have these relationships to like continue to be
crooks.
Well, I guess, yeah. It's like a crazy fee that really should be it's a fee that doesn't require that much. Like that, the amount of money they get for the amount of work that's done is an insane imbalance.
Meanwhile, I would gladly pay it to White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, where we saw Dead Milkmen. Like they're an independent venue trying to get by. Like, that obviously hasn't been scapped up by some fucking corporate conglomerate, I don't think. I don't think they are. But, you know, like, and of course, going to a show there is, like, cheaper than you can go anywhere. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. So, but I would gladly pay. And, yeah, if you want to pay towards our not being broke artists anymore, patreon.com/churchatchill. Or you might already be on there, for all we know. We don't know where this episode is going. We don't know. It's hard for me to remember, but you got stoned.
I get so stoned.
You got stoned, and like after you got stoned, you're like, we should hide this behind a paywall. And after you got stoned, I was like, we should not hide this one.
And I do like smoking weed. Like, it's a little intense, and life focuses differently. Mm-hmm. You know, your perspective shifts. You know.
Yeah, I think of it as casting like a wider net for things we could pull in. And if you watch the second half of this episode, you'll see you're like, well, you know, I'm surprised things are done that way. And
well, that's how I feel every time I do edibles. I'm like, we should be recording this because this is the only time I have this many creative thoughts.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, I actually have a lot of ideas right now.
Yeah. It always seems like when we go to record is when I'm the least eloquent of my whole life, when I have the least amount of like ideas on tap. And I still think I don't know, again, I don't really listen to our stuff. I still think we come off pretty good. I usually walk away from these being like, right on, that was cool, that was worth recording. And then like 3 hours later we're talking and I'm like, this is like much more something I would rather amplify than whatever that was, but just know we have a good heart. And that the forest neutralized me today.
Yeah, well, maybe it's better.
I like it. It's very chill. Cool. Well, thank you. And patreon.com/churchofchill for more. Peace, love, and magic.